What's up, y'all? It's Chris here to talk about last night's fights, UFC 113, William Cintron. First off, just want to say thanks to everyone who gave me positive feedback on my video I posted yesterday. Real quick on that though, man, I appreciate everyone's, words, but the point of my video wasn't to get anyone to, say anything bad or disrespect Boxing Fan Foreign and in return, obviously people have their own opinions of their situation. They say what is on their mind. But from here on out, no need to disrespect him, because I didn't, do so. Obviously people have strong opinions on it, but like I said, from this point on, it's squashed. I'm moving on. He's moving on. So, that's that. But thanks again for all the positive feedback and support. I really do sincerely appreciate it, man. I really appreciate it from all you guys. So, moving on to the reason we're here. The reason I'm here and the reason I'm sure you guys are really here. Talk about the fights. So let's get to it first. Kermit Cintron against Paul Williams. Now, I said before this fight, two things. I expected an exciting fight because both these guys are usually in entertaining bouts. And I was interested to see how Cintron's would hold up mentally in this fight. Well, 1 out of 2 ain't bad. Well, maybe it is in hindsight. But the fight didn't play out. It wasn't as entertaining as I had anticipated for as long as it lasted. But for good reason. Paul Williams said in the post-fight interview that his trainer, Mr. Peterson, had said not to be as aggressive as usual, not to be as active as usual, because it leaves you open to get hit, particularly with the big right of Cintron, which is true. I also, everyone that watches Williams fight knows two things. He throws a lot of punches, and he's easy to hit. So by Williams being less active, he wasn't as open to get countered. Now, it did make for the most entertaining fight for the first 3 rounds. Ironically, when he did open in the 4th round, right before the fight ended, he started having more success, but he did get caught with Cintron's big right hand, and it looked I don't want to say it stunned him, but it definitely looked to stop him in his tracks. It kind of buckled his knees briefly. So it's hard to say how that fight was going to play out. That 4th round was picking up, and it looked like the fight was going to turn from there, but unfortunately we're never going to know what would have happened. What do I think of Cintron? Do I think that he faked it? I don't know. Couldn't find any news online yet today on his condition. I never like to question fighters because they put their life on the line every time they step in the ring or the cage, depending on the sport. But it didn't look like that hard of a fall. And when he was down, I couldn't get an indication of what was bothering him exactly. He didn't move at all, but then once he was on the stretcher, he said he was all right. He showed anger. He was slamming his fist down. He hit the ambulance van door when he was getting in that, which is something we all do when we get mad. We swing our fists. But it just seems rather an abrupt change from the position he was in just 5 to 10 minutes earlier. So I guess everyone has to make their own conclusions at this point. None of us, aside from Cintron, definitively know what was going on with him. As in regards to the decision, very interesting that they would make such. I didn't know about this rule that I always thought it was at least 4 rounds, but only 3 rounds in California. So it went to a decision. Paul Williams gets the split decision. I don't know. I think it should have been a no contest. I just don't think that either fighter really did enough to definitively separate themselves as the winner. That said, Williams is ready to go. Cintron was it? I don't know, man. I'm really neutral on this. I really don't have a strong opinion one way or the other, but I don't know. I'm curious to hear your guys' thoughts. I've watched already a lot of videos and see a lot of comments, but rematch possibly. I don't know. I think there's bigger and better fights out there for Williams, particularly a Sergio Martinez rematch. I don't know. We're gonna have to see where Cintron goes from here because, Emmanuel Stewart, who's trained him previously, said himself that before this incident happened, that Williams is Cintron's a little psychologically fragile. I think this fight may have showed it. I don't know. We'll see. Moving on, UFC 113. Good event. Really good event. I watched it with my 2 best friends. One's a hardcore fan like myself. One is a casual fan at best. But he was even into it, And he's not a big fan. But good event. Only one non-entertaining fight, Real quick, what was the first fight of the night? Belcher Cote, it was turning out to be a pretty good fight. Belcher smashed Cote with some kind of a modified pile driver. I don't think it was illegal. I think it was an illegal maneuver. He spiked him on his face rather than his head, top of his head. Slapped on that rear naked choke. Impressive win for Belcher. Next up we had, I'm all over the place here. Matt Mitrione and Kimbo. You know, I didn't think Kimbo was going to win this fight, but I didn't think he was going to look as awful as he did. Kimbo looked like garbage. My friend's like, where has this guy been training? He has no cardio. I don't know where he's been training. I mean, no, he's been training in American Top Team, but he had no cardio, had no defense for the leg kicks. Doesn't look like he's improved it much, if at all, in the last 3 years. Mitrione's a guy who's been fighting shorter, less than he has. And he looked much more improved. So, Mitrione gets an easy win, broke Kimbo physically, and appeared to break Kimbo mentally. Kimbo loses. Kimbo was cut from the UFC. And in a way, it almost completely destroys Kimbo Slice's aura. Much as when Mike Tyson started to lose his aura of invincibility later. Not that Kimbo had an aura of invincibility, but he was looked at as like a badass Kimbo. And the way he went out in that fight, it just, I mean, if he's ever in the YouTube videos and those kind of street fights, sure, you know, he'll be back to his old self. But MMA, I just don't think it's going to be a prosperous career for Kimbo Slice. Moving on, we had Jeremy Stephens, Sam Stout. Good, entertaining fight. Just as I expected, I thought Stout would win, being the better technical fighter. But Stephens, man, little heathen put the powerful hands on him and got the decision win in a very entertaining fight. Good win, though. I'm a fan of Jeremy Stephens. I said it beforehand, so I was glad to see him get a good win. Main event. Mauricio Shogun Rua shocks the MMA world and, more importantly, Lyoto the Dragon Machida. I thought this rematch would be similar to their first fight. Thought it would be a 5-round nip and tuck technical fight. I thought that I did say that I thought that Shogun's style, his Muay Thai style, would it'd be a good counter style against Machida's karate, as it appeared during the first fight. But I don't know what happened. I don't know if Shogun just gained a psychological edge or just confidence from that first bout. But he came out so much more aggressively. He looked like he had no fear whatsoever of Machida. Machida was on his back, was fighting his fight as usual, his counter fight. He landed that big counter knee like I had referenced before the fight in my prediction vid. But Shogun was fearless, like I said. Was landing good punches coming forward, landed a few good kicks. I was surprised to see Machida take Shogun down. Not that he could get him down, but Shogun does have a pretty good guard, and Machida didn't want to go anywhere near the ground in the first fight. Shogun was looking to work that ground game, but Machida let him get up the first time, I believe, and Shogun got up on his own the second time, so it didn't really play a factor. End of the fight comes. Oh shit! I skipped Koshek Daly. I'll go to that in a minute. My bad. Anyways, Machida, they were in an exchange. Shogun obviously caught Machida with the right on the top of the head, the temple area, stunned him, took him down to the ground, ground and pound, finished him off with 3-4 solid punches. Didn't even wait for the ref to come in, just stepped off his own. Knew Machida was done, and new light heavyweight champion of the world, Mauricio Shogun Rua. That's how you get it done. Dana White always says, don't leave it in the judges' hands. Shogun didn't. His judges tonight were his right and left fists. And he got it done. So congrats to Shogun. I'm really looking forward to his next fight against the winner of Rampage, Rashad. Real quick, jumping back to Josh Koscheck, Paul Daly. Fight win as I expected. I thought Koscheck would win by rear naked choke. He just dominated Daly on the ground. Not much to say. The only thing I want to say about this fight, 2 things. Koscheck was clearly faking when that knee didn't hit him in the first, much like the Anthony Johnson fight. Shows why he doesn't have a lot of fans. Second, that cheap shot by Paul Daly at the end, can't really support it, but as my best friend said, probably the most exciting part of the fight. Paul Daly got cut over it though, so I don't think it was worth it in hindsight. Looking forward to see Koscheck on Ultimate Fighter though, because he talks a lot of trash. He'll make for an entertaining season, even though I don't really want to see his face every week. Anyways, that's it for now. Be sure and check out the website, thewolfiebloodfightshow.com, leaveitinthering.com, my Twitter if you're interested, Links in the video as always. Be sure to check out the radio show every Thursday. LeaveItInTheRing.com will also be featured on BoxingScene.com every week as well. So until next time, which will probably be later today or tomorrow. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff coming up next weekend. I'm out.